Can you believe that just a few decades ago, parents could legally send their children through the mail? It sounds insane, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. The 1960s were a different time, and some things that were totally normal back then would get you arrested today. We're about to count down 15 things parents in the 60s did that are now completely illegal. You won't believe what was considered okay, and trust me, each one gets more shocking than the last. Make sure you stay until the end, because the last one will completely change how you see the past. Let's start with something that was everywhere: smoking. Today, we know the dangers of secondhand smoke. But in the 60s, it was common for parents to smoke in cars with the windows rolled up, in the house, even around newborn babies. There were no laws against it, and ashtrays were a standard feature in family cars and living rooms. Next up, car safety, or rather, the lack of it. Seatbelts weren't mandatory in all cars until the late 60s, and car seats for kids? Forget about it. Children would often ride in the front seat, stand up while the car was moving, or even sleep in the rear window ledge. It's a miracle anyone survived their family road trips. Speaking of travel, let's talk about flying. In the 1960s, you could walk right up to the gate to see someone off without a ticket. But more surprisingly, many airlines allowed parents to purchase a lap seat for their infant for a fraction of the cost. The child wouldn't get a seat of their own, just sit on their parents' lap for the whole flight, even during turbulence. It's a practice now banned on most domestic flights for obvious safety reasons. And how about discipline? Corporal punishment in schools was not only legal, but expected. If a child misbehaved in class, it was common for a teacher or principal to use a paddle. Parents supported this, believing it was essential for building character. Today, this is illegal in many places and considered child abuse. Think that's wild? It gets worse. What about lead-based paint? In the 1960s, lead was a common ingredient in paint used for homes, toys, and cribs. The sweet taste of the paint chips made them tempting for children to chew on, leading to widespread lead poisoning, which we now know causes severe developmental issues. It wasn't banned in residential paint until 1978. Then there were the toys themselves. Many popular 60s toys would be recalled instantly today. Think of chemistry sets with actual hazardous chemicals, or wood-burning kits that got hot enough to cause serious burns. Safety standards were practically non-existent. And wait until you hear the next one. How about a little fresh air? In some big cities, parents would use baby cages. These were wire cages that could be hung out of an apartment window, allowing the baby to get some sun and air without leaving the apartment. It looks terrifying now, but at the time, it was seen as a healthy, modern solution for urban living and for a summer treat. It was totally normal to let your kids drink from the garden hose. We now know that many hoses can contain lead and other harmful chemicals that leach into the water, especially when it's been sitting in the sun, ready for things to get even crazier. How about letting your 7-year-old go to the store alone? In the 60s, free-range parenting was just parenting. Kids would leave the house in the morning and not come back until dinner, with no adult supervision and no way to contact them. Today, depending on the age and location, this could be considered neglect. And what about medicine? Giving aspirin to children for fevers was standard practice. It wasn't until later that the link between aspirin and Ray's syndrome, a rare but serious condition that can cause brain and liver damage in children, was discovered. Now we're getting to the truly unbelievable ones. In the 1960s, some doctors would actually prescribe cigarettes or even beer to pregnant women to help them relax or to treat morning sickness. The dangers of alcohol and nicotine to a developing fetus were not widely understood. Can you imagine a doctor recommending that today? And what about working? While child labor laws existed, they were much looser. It wasn't uncommon for teenagers, and sometimes even younger children, to work long hours in agricultural or industrial jobs that are now deemed far too hazardous for minors. Okay, only a few left, and the rules of society were about to change forever. What about a day at the beach? Suntan lotion existed, but it was mostly oil to help you tan faster. SPF was not a thing. Parents would let their kids bake in the sun all day, believing a deep tan was a sign of good health. We now know this is a direct cause of skin cancer. And get ready for this one. In some rural areas, it was common practice to let teenagers drive farm equipment, or even the family car, on private property long before they had a license. It was just seen as a part of growing up and learning responsibility. But I promised you the most shocking one at the end, and here it is. Brace yourself, sending children through the U.S. Postal Service. Yes, you heard that right. In the early to mid-20th century and lingering into this era, it was technically permissible to mail a child, as long as they were under the 50-pound weight limit for parcels and had stamps affixed to their clothing. Some rural mail carriers would deliver them to a relative's house along their route. This practice was eventually officially banned, but for a time, it was a quirky and shockingly real part of American life. From mailed babies to window cages, the 1960s were truly a different world. Thanks for watching, and if you found this as mind-blowing as I did, make sure to follow 4 more trips back in time.